Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this deck list video here. Today's deck is going to be Gyarados, Mega Gyarados deck. I haven't seen too much play on this Gyarados deck, in verses and stuff like that, which I find kind of strange because Gyarados is a very, very strong card. So the whole setup on Gyarados actually relies on, you kind of powering him up with Stormy Seas. Basically, what that does is, you flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, you search your deck for water energy, and you attach it to Gyarados-EX. And the whole objective is to try to get four energies on him as soon as possible. That'll give you a splash burn attack, and then splash burn is a good attack if you can't really pull off your Gyarados, but then the real power comes when you get him to Mega Gyarados. That gives you Blast Geyser, and what that does is it does 120 damage, and it also does 20 extra damage for each water energy attack attached to Mega Gyarados. And normally if you have four energy attached already, that's an extra 80 damage, so that's 200 damage. And with 200 damage, you can pretty much knock out any kind of Pokemon EX. Basically in the current standard meta. I have a Manaphy-EX in this one just so you can use his Aqua 2 ability. So any Pokemon that has any water energy attached to it has no retreat cost. That gives you a little bit of control on your board to kind of bounce your Pokemons around on the bench. Palkia in this deck, is basically used to kind of like power up Gyarados, and he if you can get the water energies going on Palkia too, he's a pretty strong Pokemon. This deck also uses Golduck BREAK. Of course the card's a little funky here, but basically as often as you like during your turn before your attack, you may move basic energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. So that basically lets you pull these water energy off your Pokemon, and I'm going to show you in a second here which trainer cards I'm using in this deck. I have two Octilleries and a Seismitoad in this deck. It's a little pricey deck, but if you can get these cards in there, it gives you a lot of balance and flexibility for your deck, which I always like. So here for training cards, I have three Dive Balls. The Max Potion, basically heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. If you do, discard all energy attached to that Pokemon. So basically, what you do with the Golduck and Gyarados combo is, you use Golduck to move all his energies off of him and then heal him again. So it gives you a lot of sustainability there. I have two Mega Turbos in this deck for the Gyarados to stack his energy. Three Ultra Balls, two Ultra Balls, sorry. Four Versus Seekers. I have an Az, a Judge, Lysandre. I have three Professor Birches, four Professor Birches, three Professor Sycamores, a Skyla, Rough Seas for the healing, two Gyarados Spirit Links. You really don't need three. Technically you have three Gyarados in this deck, but you only need two. You only really need one Gyarados to actually win in this deck. So that's what that's for. Just so you don't end your turn. Spirit Link's always a great card to have in your decks. So that way you can Mega Evolve and not lose your turn. I also have a Head Ringer Team Flare Hyper Gear here. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to cost one more, and you can only attach these to Pokemon EX, by the way. It's a really good card to kind of like slow the opponent down, when you need to with that card. So, and I have 11 water energy. I have one double colorless in this deck, which is really for Seismitoad. That's really what I have that card included in here for, and Gyarados, just in case if you run, you need a quick mana energy jump, and you can drop that on him. So with that being said, here I'm going to show you guys a versus game here. Hopefully we get a decent matchup and not something too crazy. If I can find my Gyarados deck first. Here, let's see. Here we go. M Gyarados. What I name my deck here. So let's go ahead and jump into a versus battle real quick. Yeah, so we're gonna be going up against a fighting deck here. I'm gonna assume it's either Golem or Lucario deck in this current standard meta. So now there we go. So the whole point of this deck is you really want to pull Gyarados on your first turn. You know, that's always like a kind of mandatory. You want to drop Gyarados on there. You can see I pulled an energy right away on the first draw too. So that's gonna give us the ability to, you know, kind of try to use the Stormy Seas and power him up here. Let's just cross our fingers and hope we don't have a bad roll with our coin here in a second. So since I have Octillery here in my hand and I have an Ultra Ball, I'm going to go ahead and drop a versus Seeker. We'll probably drop this Mega Turbo here real quick. Oh, actually, never mind. I pulled a Remoraid right in the first turn, so that's good. I'll go ahead and drop him on the bench. You know, I am actually going to use my Ultra Ball too. I'm going to go ahead and try to pull out my Manaphy here. Or actually, let's get a Golduck on this for the setup. So I'm going to pull Psyduck out here. Alright, so let's cross our fingers and hope we roll some heads here. Alright, so we had a good start here so far. We have 3 energy stacked on here, so if we can actually pull it off and draw an energy on the next round, we might be able to win this if he doesn't have any Pokemon. So it's turning out to be a Garchomp deck. That's a really, you know, counter deck because, you know, Garchomp does tons of damage to Pokemon EX, and, you know, we'll see what happens here. Hopefully we'll lucky draw an energy here. So this is not looking too good here. I'm gonna go ahead and try. See here. I'm actually gonna pull out another Gyarados. I'm gonna go with that. Actually, I don't even have one, so it's on my prize card. That's not a good sign. Let's go ahead and grab Seismitoad here. And that's kind of like the drawback to Gyarados there, you know, you can't really flip his coins and, you know, you can't draw energy. It's going to definitely slow you down. It's a pretty big problem for him. And as you can tell here, that Regirock's going to actually knock me out here on this third turn. So, pretty much, I think that's pretty much it for this deck. He has his Regirock powered up. I have no energy. Uh, and I really can't do much left in this deck, really, so I'm gonna go ahead and just give it one more round, and I think I'm just gonna see how far we can take this. So pretty much looking at my deck here, I'm gonna just go ahead and concede this game because this deck really relies on Gyarados being on the bench, and seeing that I have two of them under the prize cards doesn't help out. So I'm gonna go ahead and concede this game. Unfortunately, we can't win every game we play, right? So let's go ahead and give this one more go at it. I want to at least be able to show you guys how Gyarados is in play. Alright, we're playing against Robb Stark here. Some Game of Thrones reference here. Alright, so no EXs. I'm gonna have to play our Pokemon here. And we're going against Charizard-EX. I don't think I've ever played against a Charizard using this deck yet, so let's see what happens. Dive Ball and Ultra Ball, so I'm gonna go ahead and use Ultra Ball so we don't have to discard any cards just yet. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this Gyarados here, drop him on the bench. I'm gonna go ahead and switch Remoraid out of the bench here. So, put Gyarados back on the bench there. As you can tell, my hand doesn't really have anything that's, gonna benefit me in the next round, so I'm gonna go ahead and, use Professor Birch and let's see what we end up with. Alright, so I'm actually gonna bring this Palkia onto the bench here, just in case. And we'll keep our Rough Seas out here, just to see if he has any stadiums, and maybe we can knock that out. Gonna drop Psyduck on here. Let's go ahead and drop Octillery on this stuff. I'm gonna bring out the Rough Seas because I'm gonna heal our Gyarados here. He's already taking some damage. Never a good thing. Damage. So for this, since we are gonna need Golduck to kind of power up and be able to move cards around, I'm gonna go ahead and use Skyla this round here. I'm gonna grab this head ring right here. Try to slow this Charizard down so he doesn't knock me out and turn 3 again. So with my hand, dumping everything I can, I'm gonna go ahead and use Abyssal Hand. Try to add some cards here. See what kind of mix we get here. So I don't really need to put Seismitoad on the bench just yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and use his Stormy Seas. Let's hope we get some good rolls here. Awesome. So we have so you can see right away, Stormy Seas gonna fully power up our Gyarados. We're actually gonna be able to knock out Charizard in the next round, possibly. So as you guys can see, that's why I kind of have a head ringer in here. In the current standard meta, it's a really powerful card, and if I didn't have that card, Combustion Blast would have totally knocked me out. Thank God I had that, and thank God I had a lucky roll here.